until you
Not
know
so
there's something
fast.
in
The
this game
general's
that you
coming with
want.
you.
Yeah. Like that is actually quite a nice thing to hear. And maybe it's like, I mean, I don't know if it's because Multiversus spent so much time in like what it was in beta for the longest time, wasn't it? Or, like early access or whatever.
I don't know. They went back and forth about when the game was actually released
Yeah.
because
Yeah, it was actually
that was
released
also
in
part of
May,
it.
but prior to that, it was just like a really long break too after the beta.
Yeah, I mean, it
that
was
too.
released once before that, and they're like, "Oh, this is actually the bait." Like everyone thought it was just released. That's how it won a game award.
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. What was that,
Uh,
2022?
Something like that, and everyone thought it was released. And then they're like, "Oh wait, no, this is a beta. Actually, sorry."
I guess that's like
That's
the biggest thing is because during that quote unquote beta is when I was playing it with Karma. And we did like 2v2s for a little while because I was like, oh, it's a free game on Epic. I'll pick it up. I'll give it a go. Whatever.
Yep.
It's like, but I look at the game I was watching when I was on the casting team for the tourneys and the game that was in beta. It's like, what? Like, this is why I got confused. It's like, what have they? What is different realistically? Other than a few new characters and a few new maps, what's actually different about the game? There wasn't much.
yeah.
Well, mechanics wise, I think is also a big problem is that the game was like the final game was slower than the beta. Just as far as character movement is concerned. And then there were a few players who were just like, no, like they really preferred that like cracked feeling that you got from playing it in the beta versus the full release that was a little slower and just required you to be a little more methodical. So I'm sure that probably kind of created a divide, at least early on, right? I mean that stopped a lot of players from investing more time into it.
Yeah. If you really think about it, it's pretty much like from inception, like all they did was divide their own community. Like
Yeah,
there's no
yeah.
better way to put it. That's like you
I,
said, from beta, slowing down the game, slashed in the middle, shields slashed in the middle.
Oh
Um,
gosh.
it's
honestly,
just like so many things. New playlist slash in the middle. Like you're just sectioning out your own fucking player base that's not even that big to begin with. So it's like nobody's surprised they're going under. Let's be honest.
I'm yeah. I wish if like we talk about like hindsight. I kind of said this before. I kind of wish that they actually ignored the 1v1 community. Hot take, I
Mm,
know.
interesting.
Because
Yeah, yeah.
they released the game being like, or even in beta, they're like, this is a game solely focused on twos. This is a game that is focused on doubles. Find a teammate that you want to play a lot with and get better together, right?
Great point. Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, but like Arya's too strong in singles, so we're gonna tone her down and not and like Joker's ruining the single ladder. If you just are like, we don't care about the single ladder, that's fine. Like that's
Yeah.
okay. You're
Yeah.
allowed to do that. You can also like take away singles ranked match, like ranked mode. I mean, I think back at not to bring up the cursed game, but League of Legends back in like season 3, 4, 5. I think most of us were playing League of Legends back then. When there is a Twisted Tree Line, the 3v3 map,
Oh yeah.
that had a ranked mode. But nobody expected the ranked mode for Twisted Tree Line to ever be balanced. That's not why we went into it.
Yeah.
Right? Dominion had a ranked mode at one point. And if you remember Dominion, how's your blood pressure?
Terrible.
So what? So what I'm hearing is the downfall of Multiverses at its core was gamers were too prideful to make friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
That too.
and also, PFG didn't put their foot down, right? They
Yeah,
didn't say, "Listen, this is what this game's gonna be. You got a problem with it? Suck it." Like they they decided, okay, we have all these people complaining. Let's make a huge game breaking change. Versus, all right, guys, here's the vision for this game. Hopefully you enjoy it. If you don't, damn, too bad, right?
I
And
think that is what I kind of hope developers learn is gamers should not dictate what you do
hell
with
no.
your game because they are not game developers, so they clearly don't know what the fuck they're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Also,
Like,
gamers don't know what they want.
I
Let's
mean,
be
we
They
yeah,
real.
don't.
I was trying to say it without saying it because it's a fucking buzz phrase on this podcast. Like, it comes up. I was trying to avoid the bingo card, but if you want to
Oh
fucking
my!
say it, then
I
go for
forgot
it.
the bingo card.
Go something something Baldur's Gate 3. But like, no,
Early
genuinely,
access.
I was, no, we were talking about beta, so there you go. That's already off the list.
It's no longer a bingo card. This is a drinking game, and all.
No, no, no,
Uh-huh.
not again. But no, just like I was trying to say it without saying it, but it's like if like my whole thing has always been you are the developer, you are the one that has made the game. Whether you've done that through studying in university how to literally code a thing into existence, or if you have just learnt in your house and you've made a little indie game and you figured it out and you're a fucking genius, Toby Fox. I'm looking at you. Like it's this whole thing of do not listen to the people on Twitter. Do not listen to the people on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok who are telling you what you should do to make a game. Because if they were that good at knowing what a fucking game should be and what a game needs to be good, they'd be a fucking game developer. You're the
Mhm.
Yeah.
one getting paid. I trust you a lot more than I trust the idiots on Twitter telling me, "Oh, this thing is right, this thing is wrong." Fuck them.
Well,
Yeah.
think about it this way, like all the way back in fucking
Welcome.
like Halo days, right? Think of if they took out like super jumping, fucking, and all these fucking Gandhi hopping and shit like that in Halo 3. Like that would just literally destroy the identity of Halo. I was like, nah, that's cool. We'll keep it in there. It's fine. It's a mechanic. Just fucking own up to it. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. In Black Ops 3, it happened where that was where like the G slide was born
Hmm.
in that game, and it was a mechanic that took time and practice to learn, and everyone really liked it, man. I mean, in the competitive scene, players were using the G slide to kind of get around the map faster, and it was just really changing like the dynamic of how you played certain maps. Um, one day Treyarch was like, "Yeah, so we just released a new patch. G sliding is no longer in the game," and people were furious, man. We were like, "Yo, what do you mean?" Prior to them patching it out, a former pro player by the name of Miracles did something in a pro match that was crazy. Like people were buzzing about it online, and he only pulled it off because of the G slide. So people were really excited about the future, of the game with that mechanic. So when they took it out, everyone was pissed. And Treyarch basically said, "We don't give a shit. It wasn't meant to be in the game. So guess what? It's not in the fucking game. Get over it." And you know what we did? We got over it,
You got over it.
and we kept
Yeah.
playing the fucking game, man. And so it's just, if you're right, like the game developer, whoever you are, you kind of have to stick to your guns and know what the vision's supposed to be and stay in that zone.
Yeah. Listen, if there are any game developers listening to this at any point, you're the one getting paid to do your job. Don't listen. Don't even listen to us. Don't like apart from the part where we said don't listen to them. You can listen to that bit. Anything else, not like that. You get what I'm saying, right? Like you are
Yeah.
getting paid. You are the professional. You wouldn't go to a doctor to figure out how to make a lasagna. Don't go to a fucking random person just living their life to figure out how to make a game. And
All
if you
right,
Mhm.
but
and
if
if
you
you
want to
feel
pay me to give you my opinions on what's going on, my details are below.
It's called a
Yeah.
consultation, all right?
Yeah. I'm totally open. All right.
Nah,
Uh,
I think that also just goes back to like we talked about before, just a negative connotation in content nowadays. when it comes to games and shit.
I
And everybody just kind of like hones in on that.
yeah, I don't. So right now, also something that I thought was kind of interesting with like players first that most other, especially like smaller game companies, don't do anymore is they hide behind the brand.
Mhm.
Um, with the fighting game community, it's like really important to a lot of the players to feel like the developer is like on their side. And this is more of like a brand image thing and marketing thing, but like, uh, Smash Brothers has Sakurai, Tekken has Harada, Rivals has Dan Fornace. These are all just people who are part of the team or the leads of the team, right? Even in League of Legends, right? For League of Legends, they started having the dev talks. The LCS now has Mark Z doing videos twice a year, just be like, "Hey, this is what we're fucking doing. Look at my face. I'm in charge." Uh, it makes it feel like you're closer to the developers. But when PFG is like, "Oh, we hired 2 people from the community to tell us what's going on," was also kind of a weird move. I didn't say anything at the time because it could have panned out great, but it's like, hey, it almost feels like, hey, we're not gonna send somebody from inside to go talk to you guys. We're gonna grab one of you to tell us what's going on.
Yeah.
Like go back to your well instead of bring us somebody and we'll have them go back to you rather than like stepping out of the castle that is the corporate office to be like, hey, I'm the lead balance designer at PFG. My name is Zach. Nice to meet you. I have no idea who's running PFG. I don't know. Like, there's just like a huge disconnect from that side. And I think the only brand that gets away with it nowadays, especially in the fighting game space, is Capcom with like Street Fighter.
Yeah,
But
makes
but
sense.
Street Fighter also like famously just grabs a bunch of top players to like test the game and give their ideas on what they want for the new thing. Like
Mhm,
very
mhm.
famously, it's just a bunch of people like, "Hey Justin, we decided to implement this move. What do you think?" Like they do that often, and they hire out of the community often, and have been doing that since like Street Fighter 3 came out. So
It can
when I was
work.
born, yeah, yeah. I'm just saying, like,
No, no, it can work, but the difference there is they've done it over several years and they've got it down to an art form, whereas you have a company like Player First where they just did it out of the blue and thought that would fix the issues, and it
but they
didn't.
also didn't do anything with it. It was the other problem. It was just Nakat being like, "Hey guys, patch is coming out in a week. Hopefully you guys like it."
Yeah, I mean, personally, I was kind of excited about the fact that Nick Cat was the quote unquote
Same.
spokesperson to start off. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, getting one
Yeah.
of ours. Yeah, but you're right though. It's like when the heat is on, who was supposed to be the person that steps to the front and says, "All right, I'm here to discuss this or address the tension," right?
Yeah,
And then I don't think the cat nor Ajax were designed to be that person.
should they have been. Like, I think people
Yeah,
would have been
yeah,
more mad if Nakat was like, "Hey," Nakat was the person to be like, "Hey, we from Player First apologize for
yeah,
XYZ. Uh like all the server issues and we're working on it like it it'd be better because they'd be taking accountability for certain things that have been plaguing the uh the community for so long, but
Like the
it's so
tournament
much
we
better.
didn't get to run.
Yeah, but it's so much better when there's like just like a face. It doesn't even have to be the real face. It can just be a guy. You could
Mm.
be like literally just
AI.
literally just grab a guy, call him the lead of communication, be like, "Hey guys, I'm the lead of communications from Player First Gaming, we're hearing all the complaints. We understand that there's server issues. But hopefully the new patch fixes all that. Or because like lobby
Imagine if
issues
he's a
have
homeless dude.
existed since. God,
I
I'm
was saying,
so
I was saying, imagine if you just grab like a homeless dude to do this. Then if you just grab
yeah,
anyone,
yeah,
just like
literally,
give him like a paper.
yeah. Give him a shave and give him a paper. Like it literally could be anybody. Like
Rare have got this for Sea of Thieves. It's like they've got the lead community manager whose job it is to like communicate with content creators and members of the community to see what they're struggling with. With Sea of Thieves, it's often a lot because the game is slowly dying currently. But they're trying.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Like you just you know. And this is the thing, is like when other developers have done it before, especially in your field of games, it's like d- if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? And if it is broke and you have an instruction manual, don't don't scream wildcard, cut the brakes, and jump out the van. Like
Yeah,
you don't need to make it harder for yourself.
Yeah, it's
that's
just
fair.
so. I was wondering.
yeah.
I was bringing this up to Kefka. Um, so for those of
Chaos
you
Kefka.
that don't know, the what was it called? Um, the Stream Raiders. Stream Raiders. Do you know? Have you guys seen
Yep.
anybody do that?
Yep.
Other than Kefka, no.
I've
Uh,
seen a few
Actually, I
people
have
do
not.
it. I did it for a little bit, and I've actually been thinking about like trying to get back into it a little bit. I just need to find the content that it would fit.
well, so apparently that is being canceled.
Dream
Oh,
There.
Raiders.
Yep.
How's it work?
Right after they just came out with like a new expansion, pretty much. Um, so yeah, it's and from what I understand, from what I've seen, it's that they delved into other quote unquote gaming projects and basically just didn't put in the time to keep Stream Raiders alive. So I don't know if they're going down as a like entity or if Stream Raiders is going down by itself, but it's like, so you're just gonna cancel things and just be like, sorry guys, we're not making money from this. Have fun. Um, so it got me thinking, like, are people finally starting to realize that, are developers starting to realize that live service is not exactly the answer?
Well, I
I
mean,
I don't. I'm not sure if that's going to be entirely the case because live service does make a fuck ton of money. I think it's just.
If done correctly.
Well, I think
yes.
it's just in the case of Stream Raiders, which I will be fully transparent with. As a service, I did enjoy partaking in as a viewer. Um, but like it was too niche, and so like you look at a lot of current live service games, and a lot of them are very comparable. Not saying you're the same. It's not what I'm saying. They're very comparable. Where Stream Raiders was very niche, there was nothing else like it, which is great. But it also, it's that other thing of competition is healthy because it means you can stand. If you're the only fish in a pond, you're gonna starve.
Mhm.
So I think they went too far on that line of like we're gonna do something entirely unique and on its own, and it was going pretty well for a while. But what they really could have done with is maybe like pushing a lot of community outreach and having these events and stuff and giving it the time and the money and the development, but they
Yeah.
just let it simmer and
Well, they did come out with that like pirate expansion or whatever, and I don't even know if that lasted long. Like I saw Kefka maybe running it for like a month or two, and then he went back to regular Stream Raider, so I just assumed it didn't it didn't hit where it was supposed to.
mm,
Yo, Panda, what's up? Welcome,
It,
welcome.
I think I'm not in the know when it comes to these things. I mean, I can't say I was. I've even used it before. So um,
Yeah, it was like CJ said, it was a very niche thing that it was like a break tool for streamers pretty much. You're playing a main game and then, you have to there's a break or something whatever, so you just go run Stream Raiders real quick and then that runs through and you go straight back to the game. That's pretty
Uh,
much
mm,
all it was.
was it there's a word game that I usually run if I ever have to take an
words with friends. It was kind of similar to that in
not words with
Or
it was
or Wordle, whatever.
words on stream. Sorry.
words on
Words on
stream. Yeah,
stream.
yeah,
There
Oh
you
yeah.
go.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I'm thinking of the fucking Scrabble app, but
Yeah,
I knew
yeah,
what
yeah.
I meant.
Yeah, words on stream is what I would usually run. It's something like that where it's just like, hey, entertain the tablet kids while I go take a smoke. Uh,
it it was really good for like community based content creators because it was like you were all doing a thing together, and the more you contributed, the more stuff you'd get. You'd level up your characters, which would make them stronger, which would mean you could get further in the levels, further in the dungeons. So like
Mhm.
as a system, because it would be a case of like for half an hour you can put down a unit like every 5 minutes, and then after that half an hour you run the battle, and then you can hand out rewards to your viewers and stuff. So it was like an interesting take on the interactive stream game.
yeah,
Um, it wasn't so much a thing as like I'm going on a break. You guys can do this thing, and my mods can keep it going. Like the streamer did need to be active,
that's fair. Yeah.
for it to work properly. And maybe that would have been a downfall for it. Maybe it wouldn't have been. I'm not, like I said, don't know the business model, but it was people who used it were very passionate about it, and if you didn't use it, you didn't fucking know what it was.
It
mm,
it seemed like it once again. It kind of felt like one of those things where the people who I didn't realize that they're like trying to make any money off of it. Because in my head, it's kind of like the Pokemon community game that everyone kind of has on there. To a lot of people that at least I know
Yeah.
have in their
I think
chats.
there was a little monetization, but it wasn't like spearheaded, for lack of
Yeah,
a
No,
better term.
because the Pokemon community game, to my knowledge, is just a bunch of people who have free time, like managing it and
Mhm.
maybe making a little bit of money off of like clicks and stuff like that. I don't know if you have to like buy it off of Steam or something, but clearly it's just people running
so
it for the sake of running it.
Yeah.
so the monetization for Stream Raiders, from what I'm looking at, is either you could buy meat, which basically meant you could cool down your unit because every unit had its own cooldown. The rarer the unit, the longer the cooldown. Um, you could get that so that you could cool down your stuff faster. You could get potions, which would boost their health and damage and like all their stats. You could get skins, and you could, which just make your guy look different. And then you could get scrolls, which would level up your different units, and that was the main monetization that I'm seeing.
mm.
So
So yeah, it was there, but I don't think it was like a mobile game at the end of the
Yeah,
day.
look, I have been on streams that use it on and off for the last 2.5 years, and I've never even considered putting any money into it because there was never a reason to.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because
It
you'd
seemed
have
like just a casual thing that happens sometimes, and I'd be hanging out with Kefka in his stream. I'd be like, I don't know what's going on, but
I'm gonna put down my archer.
yeah, yeah,
But
I
exactly. That's
I'm
quite literally.
helping. It was good in that sense of like you feel like you're helping out the community with it, and that sort of camaraderie thing was really good. But like the thing that I always found was like if I was randomly going through Twitch streams to see who I want to lurk on for the night, and they had it on, I'd go put on a couple of units. I'd always put down my healer because I'm who I am.
Yep.
Um, but you'd always have like 2 or 3 people that like level 40, and they would just carry the whole thing. So like that kind of felt like maybe that's what it was. It's like you had maybe 100 people who only watch streamers that use that stuff leveled themselves up massively high, and so everyone else was just kind of being carried along by them. So there was never any reason to buy anything because the level 50 person's gonna win the battle for us anyway.
Yeah, true. Speaking of, as much as I want to see this clip, like now, we'll save it to the end, guys. The game sense sold separately. You know, I know this is what y'all are here for, all right? But
Hey man, I'm about to get that tatted on me at some point. For real.
But as we're on the topic of just stuff shutting down, farewell Midnight Society. Bye bye. Dead drop not happening. As if
So,
again anybody was surprised that was gonna fucking come to fruition.
Yeah. Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
where you're gonna need to educate me because this is the first time I have heard that name.
So Midnight Society was Dr. Disrespect's
Yeah.
game development child, which they were
He's
working on
so
a quote unquote vertical battle royale where
It was an extraction
basically
shooter.
yeah, basically battle royale extraction shooter where you had to reach the top, otherwise, you know, the zone is gonna rise up on you. Like that was their whole gimmick. It was a vertical extraction royale kind of shit.
I hate that.
And they came out with a few playtests, right? Just
Yep.
kind of like showing their vision, nothing too huge out there, but essentially, again, Dr. Disrespect's fucking thing. He had a whole situation. He left Midnight Society during that
Oh, wait.
situation.
you
Is
gonna
that
underplay
that what we're
this
calling
turd
it?
situation?
Situation.
The
He had a situation.
situation.
Yeah.
It's like, because I was
Or
gonna say, like, is he still around? I thought we killed him.
oh no, he
no, he's
okay.
still
So
very
get this
popular.
too. The day that Midnight Society announces it goes down, he gets remonetized on YouTube.
Remonetized?
Really? Well, okay. So I know that he was there was supposed to be something where he was working through it because of like I don't know that. Well, maybe that was the reason. Well, as I'm speaking through it, maybe that is. Never mind. I'll shut up.
Juice has just had a thing of like, I think I've just uncovered the truth.
Oh,
I think I know what they did.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
there's a lot of shit that just I'm just not
according
aware
to
of.
his statement, the whole development process was just handled poorly. So it's just like,
I mean, it doesn't help when
oh,
the dude spearheading it has to walk away in the middle of it
yeah.
because of personal reasons, you know?
I mean,
Like,
that's like Shroud walking away from whatever the fucking Spectre something that nobody
Divide.
plays.
Yeah, unfortunate. It's
It's
just bad
just
timing, honestly, because Spectre Divide is not a bad game, man. It just came out at a bad time. Or other games are just they just really
yeah. Well,
swallow up all the
that's the other
attention.
thing is all these quote unquote streamer games, I'm gonna just call them, want to fucking do this amazing shit, and then people just like, I don't know who the fuck you are. Call of Duty's over here. Fuck your game. Like it.
but I can see the vision because it is like we don't need to spend as much money on marketing because we've got a popular internet celebrity who can do that for us. We can spend more money on the actual project itself. But even when that's the case, you got to do a bit of marketing, right?
Mhm.
You got to
Yeah.
because I could have the most I could have Kim Kardashian selling my game, right? But if I don't put her on the right channels, if I don't get her in the right communication lines, doesn't matter because
Yeah.
it needs to get heard, right? And you can have the most popular people in the world, but you got to be getting to these conventions. You got to be getting on game award shows. You got like just because then when people see, oh, it's the famous person, they're back in this game, it must be good because they'd never lie to me on the internet. Then you get the money, and that's why. But if you just go off this guy of like, yeah, we're gonna use him, he'll promote it in his streams and his YouTube content, like that's gonna reach a lot of people, but it's not gonna reach the amount you need to make a profit.
Yeah.
Sure.
The super
Yeah.
sad part too, I think, is which is still kind of wild to me. One of the main developers for what was it, Modern Warfare 2, he was 420, was one of the lead developers on Midnight Society. And it's like, did he not hire the right people? Did Dr. Disrespect not hire the right people? Like, what actually
It's
happened with this
more
shit?
assuredly the former. I don't call me uh call me a skeptic, but I don't believe in Dr. Disrespect's decision making skills in life.
No, really, I am flabbergasted.
No way.
Yeah.
You must be pulling my leg, good sir, because that cannot be the case. Fucking I sorry,
Me
I'm
literally sitting here trying so hard not to make jokes, and it's
bro, you gotta make jokes, but like I'm still reeling from the fact that that guy still exists.
I like
Because
I can't make these.
I'm not gonna go into it, but it was
This has to go onto YouTube. By the way, if you're watching on
yeah.
YouTube, watch the subscribe button. Do like the little woo.
Like, obviously, I'm not gonna get into what happened, but like it was proven to be true, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it
It's not even
No.
it's not an allegation. No,
it's
it's true.
it's like because this is what I heard. It's like this is a thing that
No, that's the thing. It was proven not to be true. That was the whole thing. It was okay. So
Which thing are we talking? I I think we should move on before
yeah, let's just
I get
let's just
unbanned.
we're just
I got
this is that
everyone
way.
has yeah, everyone has Google. I don't watch Doctor Disrespect.
Figure it the fuck out. All right.
Yeah.
No more yes anding. We're moving on.
Let's see.
Guys, I found the
Do
game sense.
okay, do we roast this kid or do we talk a little bit about Mr. Beast and Roblox CEO possibly buying TikTok for 20 million?
see that was not on my fucking bingo card. Like Mr. Beast,
Really?
sure. Like go on, Jimmy. Do you like you've got here's the thing, right? And I'm gonna use his name because that's what's in this article that Jimmy, right? He's got fuck you money. After that Amazon show that he just did, he has got fuck you money.
Throw it in
Okay,
your face and
The
walk
show
off.
that was
like
not good and very uncomfortable to watch the
oh,
entire way
absolutely,
through.
absolutely. Like I was more comfortable watching Love Island than I was watching that shit. New season's out in the
How
UK.
dare
Everyone's
you
watching it.
disrespect Love
No,
Island?
no, no. Right, right. No, here's my right. Slight tangent. Right. As a concept, Live Island, there is no issue. What I don't like with is that like people just forget the producers of this show are actively trying to fuck with people, and how you have the mental fortitude to go onto Love Island is crazy.
Money,
Because
money.
they actively try and traumatize you by making you like fall in love with people or pretend to fall in love with people and then send in people to break up relationships. It's
Yeah.
fucking it's like that it
Money and
feels
vanity do a
illegal.
lot.
Yeah, it
Money
feels
and
like it
vanity
should
do a
be
lot.
illegal. Anyway, but like he has got point being he's got fuck you money, especially after the honey situation. I dread to think how much money he like probably made from all the sponsorships he got from them and all that fucking malarkey.
Oh
But
yeah.
the fact that he has got the CEO of Roblox, that like there are a few companies I can see you teaming up with to buy TikTok, right? I could see, YouTube wanting a hand in that pie. Mark Zuckerberg clearly wants something to do with it. I could see you even like, trying to work with Amazon. I can see you working. I can see you working with a lot of people. Fucking Roblox.
So, so I do think. Well, okay. So on the business sense, it makes a lot of sense for Roblox CEO to want to team up with Jimmy, and it makes a lot of sense for Jimmy to not want to team up. I don't know if that's true that he is not, but not team up with Zuckerberg, Amazon, because it wouldn't be Bezos at this point; it'd just be Amazon,
Mm.
Google, etc. Because assuredly, if any of the other players in the content space, including Amazon, unfortunately, try to get in on that deal is getting shot down due to antitrust laws. Same reason why Google was not allowed to buy Twitch. Just you're just not going to be allowed to get it. Roblox, I feel like Roblox makes a lot of money off of TikTok and all that TikTok content
Probably.
because I mean,
Probably.
right? Because Roblox
I
makes
personally
about as
haven't
much
seen
as
Roblox
Steam.
content on TikTok, but I would not be surprised.
Like half the things that I see on like TikTok, I guess I don't really use it, but like on other short sites is like how much Roblox
It's
is basically Steam with a built-in engine that kids can build games out of.
yeah.
So, because they get the same amount, they take the same cut as Steam whenever a game in Roblox is bought. So if you just have more and more people move on to Roblox, or more children really move on to Roblox, it would make sense, especially it's the same circle as like the Minecraft kiddos.
No, 100%. It is a kid. Like I cannot tell you when she was growing up, how often I would hear my little sister ask my mum to give her some money so she could buy some Robux or whatever the child. But like, it is the easy access. It is the childlike thing. It's like it's amazing that that is not the team up I thought we were gonna see this year. Like that's baffling, and I'm kind of
2025,
like.
guys.
I'm curious as to where it goes. Like I'm genuinely curious where ByteDance will go with this, because if they're gonna sell, this is probably their best option. Um, and it will still suck if we lose that algorithm, because the algorithm is the best part about the app. But they're not they're not gonna sell the algorithm regardless of whatever options we give them.
Yeah,
But
but
you know,
having a majority share in the company will probably have you know
Implications.
the white-haired folk in Congress to be like, okay, maybe.
yeah. I mean, it just means that if this does go through, I'm gonna have even more fucking content on my feed of the thing I'm trying to watch, and then the bottom half of the screen is Roblox gameplay, because apparently people don't have attention spans anymore.
Has it moved on to Roblox gameplay? It's no longer Subway
So
Surfers.
it is Subway Surfers. It's
Where's my
also
Subway Surfers,
so
J Dog?
it's Subway. So you'll get one of four things. You will get Subway Surfers. You will get Minecraft Parkour. You will get Roblox, whatever the fuck, probably a Squid Game ripoff. Or you will get those really shitty free mobile phone games that you constantly see being advertised to you when you're just trying to like
Mhm,
look stuff up. Where it's like,
mhm,
oh, you got to
mhm.
get through all the things and do the modification.
Which, by the way, 90% of them are falsely advertised nowadays, and I don't
Yeah.
understand how we don't fucking
Oh,
cut that in
oh,
the butt.
bro, deadass. Like, I genuinely stopped paying for Spotify and started paying for YouTube Premium instead, just so I wouldn't fucking see those ads
Yep.
anymore. Like
That-
genuinely,
YouTube Music
Like
is a
Raid
thing.
Shadow Legends.
like YouTube Premium is like I didn't realize this at the time because I just didn't do the research. So I was like, I'm just trying to watch my fucking documentary, and I keep getting hit with these mid rolls. Fuck it, how much is YouTube Premium? It's £1 more, and I get no ads on YouTube, and I basically get Spotify as well. Like fuck that, yeah, fuck
You
it.
also get free movies. You
Yeah.
get free movies. I've been advocating for YouTube. I literally pay for a family plan because I was too lazy, and I was like, it's worth the money. I pay so much more than I need to, and now I have like 3 or 4 friends on my
Bro,
family plan,
I
and they
I
don't care.
Yeah, they don't, bro. It's like it's so fucking good because like this is honestly the thing I'd have with Spotify, is I would try and look up a song and I can find a YouTube video of the song, like it's the lyrics to the song or whatever, but I can't find the actual fucking song on Spotify because it's an indie band. So I could just have YouTube Music now, and I can listen to my fucking music at last. I actually have a playlist I enjoy. It's crazy.
All right.
Imagine.
If I can say real quick,
Yeah.
Yep.
I've been using YouTube Music for so long, right? For the
Mhm.
same reason, by the way, CJ,
Okay.
for the same exact reason. I was using it back when it wasn't even called YouTube Music; it was Google Play Music,
Yeah.
and then they killed that app and then turned it into YouTube. This is like 2013 when I started, and it always came with YouTube Premium, and so in my mind, I'm like, what? I'm only paying at that time it was what, $9 a month. It's like I
Yep.
get the music and no ads for not.
And movies, and a fuck ton of
And,
movies.
you know, and I'm getting roasted. Like, oh, you use Google Play Music, man? Like, for what? I'm like, I don't get ads, bro.
It is like
I don't-
$1. It's $1 or like, and not going off the family plan, but like just for a standard single person plan, it's like $1 or two more than Spotify for 3 times the content.
In America, it is
Deal.
$8.99. It is $8.99 for a single plan. And I remember when they introduced the family plan because at the time the single plan was like $6.99.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "Hey guys, if you still want to keep like your people on there, it's gonna be $18. But we're not gonna change the price of the single." I was like, I guess. I like, how many buttons do I
Yeah.
have to click?
Yeah.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's actually a fucking steal. Like
The one downside to YouTube Music is that they don't have a desktop app. Which
Yeah, it's
makes,
basically like your browser.
yeah.
but other than that, you know.
But you know, there might still be time. And also like
Yeah,
how
there
I
is a
always-
desktop app. It's called Chrome.
It's more for like the nice thing about like Spotify and whatnot is, at least for us as streamers, is that if you want like a now playing
yeah.
thing, it's so much easier to use Spotify because it auto shrinks it to whatever size you want it to be.
Yeah.
It scrolls the name. YouTube Music doesn't do that,
No,
unfortunately.
no, absolutely. That like don't get me wrong, there are benefits to Spotify.
Definitely, yes.
Podcasts, another one.
If you only want the music and the podcasts, then yeah, like Spotify is not necessarily a bad deal. But for someone like me who like most of the stuff I consume is either films or YouTube or Netflix, right? And I get my music on top of all that. Like, if you're a movie person, it's better for you to use YouTube than it is Spotify because you get the films, you get the music, you get a load of shit. And let's be honest, half of people's podcasts are also uploaded to YouTube, so now you get to listen to them without ads there anyway. So what the fuck are you doing?
Kind of like this one. I mean, what?
You know
Is
what?
that-
I'm gonna watch
Like,
Dodgeball.
Share,
for free.
subscribe.
Yeah, yeah, subscribe. Oh my
Yeah.
god, it glowed, guys. Look, subscribe.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's flashing in the middle of the screen.
Is shilling
Press it.
shilling going on to the is
See-
shilling going on to our bingo card next? Because
But no, but we have to do this. Is part of the job. Like we need to promote ourselves.
Yes.
And this is the thing on Spotify. If we say follow, the button doesn't glow, does it? So who's the idiot now?
right. Subscribe to prove a point.
Yeah, subscribe if you agree.
Oh god.
If you disagree, leave a like.
Are you all ready for this? I think I'm ready for this.
What are you?
Like,
What are we?
I-
What is? I have no idea what you're
Yeah,
prepping.
right. Here's the thing.
Pull it up.
I'm gonna be very transparent. I'm probably gonna be either the one with the least input on this, or I'm gonna be playing devil's advocate because I feel like that role does need to be covered.
I feel you're definitely gonna be devil advocate because me and Mike are just gonna shit on whoever the hell we're watching. I'm
but
just
like
100%.
like here is the thing, and yeah, these
Oh,
are
God.
just clips that have been found. Like I don't think this one was submitted, so like I feel
Yeah.
like it's only fair that they have a representation on this podcast because this is just a guy play. At the end of the day, this is just a guy playing a game, right? It's just a guy playing a game.
By the way, disclaimer: I was not able to edit out his name. So please do not do dumb shit.
If you
it's
want,
that simple.
if you want, I can censor it for the YouTube one. Like that's like 3 clicks.
Oh yeah.
Maybe, possibly. So, just to put it in perspective, this game was 17 minutes long. This guy died so many times that I was able to get it down into a sub 9-minute clip. And we put that down even more just for, the sake of the podcast. So, this is obviously not the whole game, but I'm sure you guys can figure out the problems. For those of you who played Marvel Rivals.
It's important to understand that the game, since sold separately, series is specifically not to just shit on players as good as it feels to do it. It is to state that one of the biggest problems is that there are people who don't understand awareness, right? You don't understand things like positioning, which, by the way, DPS players, is more important than damage. Just let that sink in for a second. So game sense so separately is designed to show that when you are a smart player, you thrive. When you are a dumb player, fill in the rest. Okay, continue.
This is not an excuse for you to start flaming on everybody, all right? Because you're probably just as bad.
Yeah.
Not me.
Not me.
Not
No way.
me.
That's because your win rate is every game you played, I've been in there with you.
All right, so we're gonna experiment a little bit. So we'll play the clip straight through. We'll talk about it, and then if people want to kind of oh, I didn't see that part. We might kind of start with a whole all right, pause here in the future. But for now, straight clip going through, you see what you see, and we're going to talk about it.
Also, very, very quick clarification. Is this casual or competitive? I'm assuming, but
This is
just
competitive, of course.
for the sake of the sake of the YouTube video, this is competitive play.
This is competitive low silver or high silver, low gold gameplay.
Yeah.
Right.
It is important to keep that in mind.
And also, these are usually players that we try our best to work with mid game, but rather than trying to play along with the team, they decide it's best to just talk shit to the team. So I don't really feel bad for these people. I'm just gonna say that. We're just gonna put that out there.
Oh, this guy was actively talking shit to both me and his other healer the entire game.
Let's not work with the team. Let's just talk smack.
Mind you, went 18 and 15 here as a final kills. Here we go.
Point here. You got infinite ammo and decide you're gonna pull out the turret.
Turret goes down.
Advantage of the infinite ammo. Interesting choice.
Still being shot by the Iron Man. No shotgun.
Yeah. We're gonna just face tank.
Mutant off spawn. Ult with cloak right there. 55 health. Alright, nice Magneto cancel.
Hey, where are my heals, bro?
Oh, this is the best one. Ready? Listen for it.
Wow, you can see everybody there.
And Iron Man just comes through. Maximum pulse.
Oh, can I say something as the designated pro and who has the most hours in this game? For I just give me a second so I can go to I have 6.3 hours more than anybody else.
Bro, I have more time in the loading screen. I have more time. Yeah, this isn't much of. I have more time compiling shaders. It's not a flex. But
Oh,
NetEase, optimize your game, please.
Please.
can I just want to ask, when you pop turret with Punisher, uh does the turret block any bullets? Does it tank any damage?
So it does, but only from the front. So the turret
Okay.
essentially has its own health bar, but only takes damage from the front. If
So
somebody
when he w-
flanks you from behind, you are taking damage as Punisher.
so when
Something that
you
might.
run onto site, when you run onto site, coming from the corner, and you're like, I need to shoot everyone, and you drop it down. This isn't good. Like, this play isn't good here. Like, him running forward. I know there's a Magneto right there, but
So I believe, like Juice was saying, basically there is a rocket on this team as well.
oh,
Who
giving infinite ammo. Yep.
has the infinite ammo, and I believe the infinite ammo does not work with the turret.
Nope.
So
At
it's
all.
basically like the turret is a very good asset to have for a Punisher.
Sure.
But it is effectively cast your minds back to Overwatch 1 days, ladies and gentlemen, and then cast them back even further to the beta of Overwatch 1, the way Bastion used to be with his little front-facing shield when he was in turret mode,
I
is
hate that.
effectively what Punisher's ability is.
Okay.
Mhm, mhm.
So
Also, mind you, that the Rocket and Punisher were both making the mistakes this entire game. Now that I went over it, he
Mm.
was throwing the ammo while he was on the turret. He was putting the turret down while the ammo was in front of his face. So it's like they were both kind of fucking up, but it's like, come on,
Oh,
come
the
on.
turret's not even an ultimate ability. What the? Okay, hold on.
No,
No, it's not. Oh, and
it's
mind you, by the way, if you guys listen closely, he is being pelted by the Iron Man this entire time.
yeah.
yeah, I think for me that is where I am gonna get critical is like in that scenario. So like without the rocket thing, the infinite, without the rocket infinite ammo, turreting there is not the worst thing to do in the world because
Sure.
ultimately you will get that turret back on a cooldown. But
Yep.
it's selecting your targets that is important, and what's Punisher really good at dealing with the flyers.
Yep.
So
Mm-hmm.
it. I think this is the biggest thing that I have with my duelist whenever I'm playing, is that even if you are getting picks, and this is just a thing everyone needs to learn, it's what picks are you getting to get the most value out of your kit. When you have
Yeah.
someone like Punisher who is a hit scan and has a turret that does a lot of damage very quickly and is pretty good at tracking objects, you want to be looking for the flyers, you want to be looking for people like Star Lord, or if you've got the infinite ammo, look for the people in the back that you can get some decent headshots on, like a Hella.
So
No,
now
counter
they,
the hit.
since you actually mentioned that, let's put in a disclaimer for all Marvel Rivals DPS players out there. Your job is to get the most final kills while doing the least damage. Not the most damage with the most final kills. Because therefore you're inherently feeding the
Shooting
other
tanks.
team's healers. Less damage, more final kills. I know it's a hard concept, but you got to do it.
I mean,
It,
Yeah.
I don't think it's unfair for me to say, as like a very avid cloak and dagger, like specialist alts decide, especially on domination, and this is a domination. This is a point capture map. Um, Specialist alts like your Mantis, your Luna, your Cloak and Dagger, even like in this situation, the Rocket ult, they can decide the fight because you need to be in a small confined area to capture that point.
Mhm.
Like my best plays as Cloak and Dagger especially now with 4 dashes, is just throw all 4 dashes just on the point and then stand there because you don't die. So, trying to feed the enemy specialists and effectively giving the Mantis or the Luna free charge for another ult, you're just gonna prolong the fight.
Yeah, I mean, even in Overwatch, which I played a significantly amount more, or in other games, it's the role of the carry is a hard one, but you're actually doing the least. You have the most important role because you actually end fights.
Yeah.
You end situations. That is your job, is to make sure that that period gets placed. Punctuation happens. You are the end of it. But so many DPS players are like, okay, I'm gonna start the situation. I need y'all to back up. If you want to do that, play Vanguard, play fucking Doctor Strange. Jump in there, hit your ult, don't engage, and let the situation, like, force out ultimates, to, just so you have an advantage running onto point. It's a regular problem that happens in every fucking team game, is that people who
Yeah.
think carrying means to do the most, and it usually isn't the case. It's usually make sure that things end, make sure that the win happens. That's your job.
Yeah, it's not about getting the most kills. It's about getting the most valuable kills,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it
Um,
is. It is
it,
finding
it
targets.
if we're
yeah,
talking about like
yeah.
traditional sports, we're three of us are American. We've played and watched a little bit of football, right?
I
The
prefer
carry's the
football.
the carry is the wide receiver, right? The person making the plays is the quarterback, but the quarterback is not the one that ultimately gets the touchdown.
See, I prefer real sports like professional wrestling.
Uh, Vanguards are like the rope, right? It's there to create an idea of where the action's supposed to be. DPS are like the table that's is gonna get broken, but it needs to get broken.
That doesn't make any sense. That's not an analogy. Like
I was really
because
stretching. I had no.
because
I don't know
like
where I was.
the tables don't break anymore. They're reinforced. Thanks Netflix. We have reinforced now the ladders, they fucking break, dude. So do the people that go through them. But
Oh,
no, I
man.
I think
Yeah.
it's very like, and no clearer is in that third clip. In the I think it's either the Treasury or Observatory. I'm not sure what that map is actually called. It escapes me. But admittedly I didn't see the Iron Man. Looking at the clip, but as a Punisher, your job should be to look for that Iron Man, especially because this is
So
my role.
that's where I give him a little, because he was hidden. So unless he actually knew to look directly up, like, he wouldn't have known. But honestly, once I hear that Iron Man cue and I'm putting down a turret, I am immediately backing off. Like, I don't care what the fuck's happening. I'm gone.
Yeah.
So
Well, because
whenever I play DPS, I'm sorry, just say this real quick,
no,
just
you
to
go.
piggyback on what J Dog said. Anytime that I play DPS, I know that depending on the character that I'm playing, I need to focus on specific kills. Every time that I get to the point where the battle begins, I don't just immediately start throwing damage at whoever I see. I look around to see who's here, and based on who I see, I will then determine what's the more important kill to get, and I focus on getting that kill, right? If I'm Punisher, like in the first clip, we see the Punisher stepping in front of the tanks. By the way, why? Number one, positioning, as I said before, and just puts on a turret and just starts dumping at nothing. Wolverine's around the corner, comes around, shreds everything. Now all of a sudden you have no turret. Whereas you could have stayed in your position, let the tanks go forward. You look around to see who's here. Oh, I just saw an Iron Man fly in the sky. Yeah, I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to get him, right? Because
Yeah.
number one is the easiest target for you to get, and that should be your number one priority every single time. That's why in Overwatch, whenever you see a Pharah on the other team, what do people always say, Quang? Can I get a soldier? That's what you always hear. Can we get a soldier? They have Pharah. It's like that's how it's played, bro. So just like
I believe you.
understand your role and focus on that role.
No, absolutely. And I, with that third clip as well, and again, Cloak and Dagger main, hello. Like, I think
Hello.
the other thing that is very important for specific specialists like Cloak and Dagger and Rocket are the main two that come to mind. There are a couple others, but they escape me right now. They are heroes, especially Rocket, where they don't need to manage their cooldowns as much because your main job is to throw out heals, do a bit of damage here and there. Deal with Namor Taurus. But your main thing is just right click to the point where I have rebound Rocket so that the right click is now the left click because I'm going to be doing more healing than I am going to be doing damage. But what those specialists should also be doing, the ones that don't need to worry about their cooldowns, the one that can just kind of play a little brainlessly, you should be keeping track of the enemy ultimates. This is what I'm doing a lot. Like J-Dog can attest, whenever we've done comp together, like it's right, okay, we're due an Iron Man ult. We're due an ult from Hulk. I'm gonna save my ult because we're due one from Storm. Right? So the Rocket in that scenario should be communicating with the team. We haven't seen an Iron Man ult since the last round. We haven't seen an Iron Man ult in about 2 minutes. We're kind of due to be looking for one. Then there's the Punisher. Oh, that if they have an Iron Man ult in the stock, or we assume they have an Iron Man ult ready to go, we assume they have a Storm ult ready to go, I should be specifically looking for those targets so that I can prevent them from pulling their ults.
Mhm.
And I think
Call them out.
that is the biggest thing where we could have avoided that Iron Man ultimate is, and it's not entirely on the Punisher because the Punisher should have been told these are the ults that are due, right? That's what I'm doing all the time as Cloak and Dagger. What are our ults compared to theirs? Because then we can literally do the math. Who's probably going to win the fight? Is it worth committing to it or not? The Rocket should have been telling you, hey, Iron Man is due to do an ultimate. We haven't seen it in a while, and he's been doing a lot of damage. He's been doing a lot of kills. Look at the fucking kill feed. It's there for a reason. There's a reason these things are in the game, and then you as the Punisher know, okay, that Iron Man's probably got an ultimate in chart. Or even if you die to the Iron Man, you can see if they have it. You can cheat and see if they have it. So start looking for that Iron Man, which means you're going to be looking up, which means you're more likely to see him because that's where he's going to be.
Mhm. How is it? Game Sense sells separately, guys.
Yep.
It doesn't cost a lot, but it's sold separately.
But again, and this is why I'm the devil's advocate, these are the things you learn. Like these are not just innate things. These are things you learn. And I'm gonna hope that the Punisher did. That's the other thing. You're not always gonna have a good game. You are gonna have games where you just play a bit shit and you make bad calls because, and this is why I'm here. Every game is different, and we have times where we panic, and that's okay. But don't then flame you. That's where I disagree with the Punisher. If you had a bad game, that's fine. If you panicked, that's fine. I've done it a lot. I've thrown my ult out when I didn't need to a few times. But don't then start blaming the enemy team because that it's not on them, right? They're playing their game. They're responsible for their shit. You be responsible for your shit. Because if you get to that end card and you realize that your heal was the MVP on the team, you're gonna look like a
Woo!
fucking idiot. You're gonna look like an idiot when you look at their stats and realize they had 32k heals.
Yeah, and then Justin's gonna have to pull you out, interrupt the toxicity before it starts,
Yep,
by queuing up for another game.
yep,
Yep.
yep,
Yep.
yep. Like this is the thing, it's important that you do genuinely, and this is the point of the show. You learn from these things, you get better, and you will improve. But the thing that I hold near and dear to my heart, the thing that is said, you are at your competitive level for a reason. You are the common denominator in all your games. It is not someone else's fault that you keep losing because you're the one in every match. And that is not entirely always on you. Every now and again, we do have a stinker where we join up in a team and, there is someone that doesn't perform, but you are in every game. You are the one playing every single game that you have been a part of. You are the one that constantly loads in and picks your characters. And if you are dropping, that is on you, not on your team. And you can do better, but charity starts at home. And that's where you got to work.
I've been actively on open mic for the last like week or so doing competitive games, and believe it or not, nothing's really changed. As much as I hate to say it,
As far as what is concerned.
as far as just oh man, they got a lot of divers. They're healing our divers. Can we go anti-dive? Can somebody help us in the back line? There's just people stick on their characters, play their game. You know, you got a Psylocke sitting there hitting tanks, doing no kills. Like, can you like go into the back line? Can you do your job, or are you just gonna like let them farm ults? And it's just some people are just so stubborn that they just don't. Again, they just don't want to take advice.
It's a really double-edged sword, it really is, because on one hand you do have the argument of, you know, don't always do the immediate switch, because if you think that you on your hero can outplay the other person, and it's what I'm always saying, give it a go. I'm never going to immediately ask for the switch, because ultimately, like, if you are genuinely better on your hero as a mechanical player, if you are better, doesn't matter what they're playing, you're gonna win. Because but if it's not working, be open-minded. All right? Make the changes that need to be made. Because sometimes it doesn't go your way and you need to switch it up, and that's fine. That's not
Yeah.
necessarily that's not necessarily saying you are bad at Scarlet Witch. It's just saying it's not working right now. We need to try something else.
I just straight up beg to everybody in the world that is playing this game right now, learn some more characters, get some
Play every
awareness on
role.
the game. Exactly. The only way to get good at the game is to know how every other character works. You are not a content
Because then
creator.
you learn how to counter him.
You are not a TikToker. You are not going to get Grandmaster Celestial by one-tricking anybody. Learn the game, learn the characters, you will climb. I guarantee you. It's that simple.
It's true.
It's that simple.
By playing every character, you learn how they all work, and then you better learn how to counter them. So once you're now on the other team and you're looking at them, you go, "Oh yeah, I know how to beat you because I play you all the time." That's just how it works. Rinse and repeat for every other character in the game. You now all of a sudden have gotten better. That was how I climbed in Overwatch.
Yeah.
I was terrible, and then one day I said, "You know what? I'm just gonna play quick play. I'm gonna play all the characters I don't know." And then slowly but surely, I was like, "Wow, I'm getting better." Oh, hold on, what's going on here? It's like I see everyone on the map. I know what every character does. Like it's easy at this point.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think the other thing as well is don't assume that you are like a diamond level player. Don't assume that you are a grandmaster level player, right? Because let's be honest, I'll use Overwatch as the example because it's a game that's been out for a lot longer. If you are gold and have been for the last 3 years, maybe that's just you're a gold player.
That's just where you belong.
Like, and that's fine, because that's the point of the comp system. Regardless of whether you think it's broken or not, it is designed to put you at people at your skill level. So if it's keeping you at a certain level, you're clearly at that level. And if you want to climb, because I'm the kind of person. I'm not a massively competitive person. I'm like milling around in gold right now in Marvel, so I'm a gold player. I'm okay with that. Gold's not gold. It's a nice color. I like it. I'm fine with that, right? But if you do genuinely want to try and climb, if you want to be one above all, but you are stuck in if you are stuck in the downward spiral that you think you're in, it's not the game, It's not the other players. You're not playing at a one above all skill level. You can fix that if you want to, but flaming your teammates is not going to make you a better player. If anything, it's going to demoralize them, and you're going to lose anyway, because there's nothing worse than a healer that doesn't want to heal you because you called them a dickhead.
True.
Yep. I will skip over
Say
you.
it again in the back.
Yeah. I for sure won't heal you if you keep spamming.
But
Oh yeah.
but
Oh,
I will
I'll be
also
toxic.
But I will also say, as the caveat to that, right? On the other hand, you like if you are the healer getting flamed, all right, you can get a little spiteful if you want, but also
I
consider
will.
if you also want to succeed, don't then start playing like an idiot because you got upset. Flame them later, but
Oh,
again,
we're throwing.
focus not.
We're losing this match.
See, that's where
I'm
I
telling you right
disagree.
now.
See, that's where I disagree, Juice. All right, because then you at that point, I'd argue you're just as much to blame. And look, again,
Was it not you that said that sometimes you have bad games?
no, sometimes
Right?
you do that.
This is
Sometimes
one
you
of
do
those
have
bad
bad
games. You know what I mean? Like we're
No,
losing now
right.
because
There's a difference between having a bad
you chose
game.
violence, and
No,
just so you know, I like violence too. So guess what? We
no.
lost.
I see. This is where we're
Have
gonna
fun in your next game.
This is why I'm the devil's advocate. This is why I'm here, right?